In this video tutorial, I want to share with you how to unhide cells in Microsoft Excel. Okay, you can hide a given row, or you can hide a given column or number of columns as you move across within your given data, or you can hide a given number of rows, selected rows, and you can hide all of them, or you can hide a particular cell. Or even additionally, you can hide a particular tab. Okay, so assuming in this I have an income and expenditure for a particular company that I work with, for example, and maybe I want to share this with our contractors, and I may not want them to see some information from this document. I can easily hide it so that they cannot have access to it, and just for them to just have the access to what I want them to have access to. Okay, and I can hide tabs accordingly, and they should just have access to what I want them to have access to. So for example, maybe I want to hide a particular row. For example, I want to hide these totals. I don't want them to see these totals. I will just select it as a row. Or I don't want them to hide the income from research grant, the entire research grant and funds for operating expenses. I want to hide these two. So all I need to do is to come to that fund, to that particular row, click on it, and then drag it to the number of rows that I want to select. For example, at this point, 5 and 6, row 5 and 6. So once you finish selecting, you can just right click and you can come all the way to hide, and you can just hide this number of rows. These two rows, you can just hide it like that, and you can see between row 4 and 7 is gone, so 5 and 6 are gone. And what you notice to just make it different from the way it was in existence before is that you can look around between 4 and 7. You can see a little bit of a thicker line, which shows that there is something hidden within this particular in between these two cells. Okay, it looks like you've deleted the two rows, but they are not deleted. In Excel, you cannot delete any row. You can only play around with it, but it's there. You cannot delete a row, you cannot delete a column. You can only delete or play around with the content. All right, so at any given point, if you want to undo or if you want to unhide this particular rows that you have hidden, you can always come and click around, and just click around and drag across that particular row that you have selected or you have hidden. So once you click around that particular row or number of rows, you can just right click and say unhide. From here you can just unhide, and you can see it is back to it has unhide the rows. Okay, so you can do that the same way in columns. You can just come select the number of columns that you may not want to show, and just right click and just hide all of them, and you can see the same way. You can just see the same look as the one we have before. All right, so when you look, you can see the thicker line a little bit over here at the top. So if you want to unhide also, just select anywhere around it. Make sure that place where it's hidden is included. Just right click anywhere at the top, and then you can just come down here and say unhide, and you can see you can unhide all of them within just a click. Okay, so this is how to hide and unhide a given number of rows or columns accordingly. All right, if you want to hide a given tab, you can just come all the way to the tab like this and just right click on it, and you can just come all the way and say hide. Okay, so unlike rows and columns, if you want to hide or if you want to unhide a tab, because right now you cannot see anywhere to unhide it, if you want to unhide a given tab, all you need to do is to come to the existing tab within that particular document, to any existing tab, and just right click and say unhide, and it's going to pop up this menu for you to select which row or which tab you want to unhide. So for example, I want to unhide this student enrollment. You can do that individually. You can select individually depending on how many hidden tabs that you have. So in this case, I want to unhide student enrollment, so I just click on student enrollment and I click on OK, and it's going to unhide it just like so. Okay, so one thing you should pay attention to is you can hide a given cell. So for example, I may not want them to see this income from 2019. I don't want them to see this total. So one thing I can do is I can just select it and come to this font color. You can just select it and just make it white, and you can see it has just changed everything. So it's just when you hover over it that you can see the summation or whatever is there, but then just looking at it like this, it's just hidden, and you can have it as a hidden cell within your cells. You can do that for a number of cells. You can just select them and just change them to white, just like that, and they appear as if they are not there until you hover or navigate over them. Okay, so in cases when you have to hide documents and you want to share it with your company members or with your colleagues or with other companies or contractors, and you don't want them to have access to your document, you can protect it, and when you hide a given document, it stays hidden. Okay, so let's undo this, and let's say we want to hide, let's say we have hidden this 5 and 6. Right click and we say hide. You see it as hidden, and let's say we want to hide this D and E, we just right click, we say hide, and it has hidden everything. So you want to protect it and share this only with this, and let's say we have hidden only this, we can hide in the next tab and hide it. Okay, so all you need to do is to come to review, and then you can come to protect workbook. So you can just click on it, you can put in password 12345, for example. You just say okay, and it's going to prompt you that you should enter the password 12345, and you say okay. So whenever you send this to anybody and you try to unhide this, you can see it's not going to hide it. You can see it is protected, but unfortunately, if you want to do the same if you want to unhide this, it will not require any password. So you can do that on the rows. You can select row between 3 and 6, you right click and you say unhide. You can do that very easily. You can see it has unhidden the document. So you cannot do that with the rows and column hidden. You can select as well, come to right click and say unhide, and you can see it has unhidden it, even for the fact that it is password protected. So for you to hide document and share it with people and they will not have access to it, just like so, I just did undo, and you just need to send it in a different format. So all you need to do is to make sure you come to file and say save as, or you come to print, for example, come to print, and you can see the preview over here. So you are sending only this, and it's not going to show the remaining parts, and they cannot have access to the remaining parts. So you make sure you define the path, you are saving it maybe in PDF, and then you can define the properties, other settings and properties over here. Once you're done, you can just click on print, and you can just send it in this format, and they cannot have access to the hidden files, okay, or the hidden data. So this is the only way. All right, so in a nutshell, this is how to hide and unhide cells and rows and columns within Microsoft Excel. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to always hit the subscribe and notification buttons to stay connected to this channel for more of our very useful videos. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.